Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is back in the studio, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back for a little more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. I got to tell you, I done messed up today by being late on the schedule. In 2 minutes, I am scheduled to go live on Natalie's channel to host the Scientology Daily News Recap. I'm going to be starting that one late, because I'm going to be doing this little chat. I don't want this to last much more than 10 minutes. This chat is scheduled to auto redirect this video. This live stream is going to auto redirect to the live stream that I'm going to be doing on Natalie's channel. So if you're not yet subscribed to Natalie, go and subscribe to her channel, Scientology Life After a Cult. And if you stay with me when I end this video, like I said, it will auto redirect over there. Okay, let's talk about the D.O.A. stuff. And I want to talk about it in a productive and a helpful way to the best that I can. Because I want to start by saying I love D.O.A. I love Scotty. I love who he is. I love what he does. I love how he does it. I don't care how many people he pisses off. I don't care how much shenanigans he gets into. I like the guy. That being said, I also like the people that he is at odds with. And it's just one of these things where I've kind of commented on this in a few videos, and I've tried to comment it on in a way where I wasn't actually saying anyone's name. But honestly, what am I accomplishing by not saying names? I'm not trying to call anyone out, and I'm not gonna call anyone out. And any criticisms that I have in this video will be criticisms about actions, not about people. Scotty is a good guy. Scotty is a great guy. I like Scotty. There's one thing that that I've noticed. Again, I've commented on this kind of generally in some other videos. I have been inundated with messages from people saying something along the lines of, "Oh my God, can you believe what Scott said about you and Natalie?" And then I'll be like, I really don't know if I believe that. And then I'll go and watch the videos that in the live streams that Scott's done, and he hasn't said a gosh darn diggity darn thing. Pardon my French, guys. I'm just a little worked up right now. No. And he hasn't said a gosh darn thing about me or Natalie that's negative. Now, maybe someone has inferred that what he was saying was about me and Natalie, but I listened to every word that Scott has said in his videos, and I didn't take it that way at all. And look, here's the problem. Here's the problem. The problem with me coming on here and saying that I like Scott and I support Scott, and I like the people that he's upset with and I support them. The problem with saying that is that people on either side, whether it's Scott or the people that he's at odds with, who feel very, very, very strongly about what's going on between all the parties, could feel betrayed by me for showing support for someone who they feel is on the other side of them. That's the downside. The downside is Scott, who I consider a friend, when he hears that I like and support the people that he's at odds with, might go, I feel betrayed that you're not supporting me by continuing to show support for them. I'm speaking theoretically here. I honestly have not had any private communications with Scott since things started to really go south. I just haven't. I feel like it's better for me to stay out of it. I feel like it's better for me not to get too involved and to take sides. And I know some people might even have problems with that, me not wanting to take sides. And I got to tell you, there's part of me that was like, is this how people felt when I fell out with the Aftermath Foundation folks? Like, and there's only one difference between what's happening now and, what happened then back in November is I never asked or expected anyone to take my side. I didn't even really consider that there were sides. Now, of course, in any dispute, you could, loosely describe sides. People who think I was more in the right and people who think the other folks were more in the right. But it's one thing to feel a certain way. It's another thing to have to publicly take sides. I can tell you that when the whole Aftermath Foundation stuff went down, how I felt is that I didn't expect anyone to take any sides. But if you came out publicly against me, you're no friend of mine. That's how I felt. And so I guess what I'm hoping happens here is that I'm not coming out publicly against anyone. Here's the thing. This is an imperfect effort that we are all involved in. Whether it's the YouTube creators who just do video content, mostly like what I do, or whether it's video YouTube creators who are mostly doing live streaming protests, like what Scott does. This is an imperfect movement. We are all imperfect people. We are all people who, in various ways, have experienced a lot of trauma. We're still carrying a lot of that trauma. We're also engaged in an effort of like pretty much, I don't mind saying, I can tell you how I feel about it, fighting fire with fire. We're kind of using Scientology's tactics against them. And when you fight fire with fire, which I'm totally in favor of, you're going to get burnt sometimes. And that's totally okay. Now, I do want to, point out that I am aware that people who are at odds with each other may use my channel, my live streams, my live chat as an opportunity to make it seem like I'm picking sides where I'm not picking sides. For example, and I don't mind saying it publicly, just because so much time has passed and so much videos have been done about this, it is very clear that D.O.A. is at odds with Pinche Becky. And Pinche Becky, because I love and support all the protesters out there, I'm not going to distance Pinche Becky, put distance between me and Pinche Becky, just because Scott feels a certain way about Pinche Becky. It's not my place or my role to pick sides in something like this. Okay. So when Pinche Becky shows up in the live chat and my moderators, whether it's on my channel or on Natalie's channel, highlight a nice, pleasant comment from Pinche Becky, and I read it out loud, that's just me reading a comment out loud. Now, I can tell you, if Pinche Becky made a comment that was negative of D.O.A., I would never in a million years read that comment out loud, and I would expect my moderators to delete that comment. And if Pinche Becky continued to make negative comments about D.O.A. in a live chat that I was in, I would expect my moderators to block that, because you don't import drama. You don't import unrelated drama into my live chat on a video that's got nothing to do with that. Now, I'm just going to talk for a little bit here. What happened, I think what happens, is that Scotty sees me reading out some comments in my live streams from Pinche Becky, and he, I think, sees it as evidence of me secretly taking sides. I got to say, the only reason Scotty got, I think, booted or blocked from the last live stream I did on Natalie's channel is because he was in there making negative comments about Pinche Becky, and that just wasn't the time and the place. And so, by the way, moderators on my channel, moderators on Natalie's channel, I guess I would say, please, if Scotty did get blocked, please unblock him. He should never be blocked on either channel. But all I got to say is I will not take sides against people who I do not have beefs with. I will not treat someone like I have a beef with them just because someone else I like has a beef with them. Now, that might be like, oh my God, but don't you trust and support your friends? Guys, if multiple people are my friends, which one of them am I supposed to trust and support? I don't know enough about the situation to have a strong opinion about it. Also, I have heard some things said about people that I just don't believe or agree with. And I support my friends fiercely. I'm ride or die for my friends, but I'm ride or die for all my friends. And some beefs just are not my business. Okay. There's another thought that I have about this. I have said in many of my videos that I prefer for this activity that we're involved in, the less centralized, the better. Here's what I kind of mean by that. I want to use Streets LA as an example. Streets is a perfect example of a guy who's doing what he's doing for his own reasons, and he's going to do it no matter what. He's going to do it no matter who supports him. He's going to do it no matter who turns against him, because he's doing what he's doing for his own reasons. That is how I think that is what I consider to be a healthy mindset and a healthy approach for everything that we are involved in. I consider Streets, and I'm not speaking for him, I'm just speaking from what I've observed, to be a guy who does not hitch his wagon to anyone else, and he doesn't really expect anyone else to hitch their wagon to him. If you want to support what he's doing and cooperate in a helpful way, excellent. If you don't, excellent. He's going to do what he does no matter what. I think every protester should either be in that mindset or try to adopt that mindset or try to move closer to that mindset. And here's why I'm even talking about this. D.O.A. has been an amazing participant in everything that's been going on in the Hollywood protesting. And yet, if him choosing to step away from that causes other people to also step away from that, then I would ask those other people, what the hell were you doing it for in the first place? Were you just doing it because someone else was doing it? And if so, that's okay. Anything that brings more people to, the activity, the better. But I go, but really? You weren't even doing it for your own reasons? You were just doing it because someone else was doing it. I mean, I'm glad you were doing it at all. But if someone stepping away causes you to step away, then I would go, all right, well, that's fine. But then you weren't really there for the right reasons, were you? But that's okay. I'm just pointing it out. Like, I think that the people who choose to participate in this should be doing it for their own reasons. They should be doing it because they want to do it. And they should be doing it because they're going to show up tomorrow no matter who else shows up. Now, this is not meant to contradict the idea of please bring as many people with you as possible. Please don't go out there by yourself if you can help it. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That being said, I definitely do not support the burning all the bridges that are there just because. I don't support that. It's not healthy. It's not good. And look, I do not support. I mean, I'm just going to use a very specific example because there's no point dancing around it. Scotty doxing 86 GOP, in my opinion, completely unacceptable. That is so far beyond, anything we can chalk up to personality conflicts or, not being well rested or overreacting. I mean, that's not acceptable. That is not acceptable. We like, if someone wants to step away, if someone doesn't feel supported, if someone whatever, but turning on someone who has been one of your biggest supporters, who made the Occupy L. Ron Hubbard Way event even possible. I mean, I think 86 GOP donated over half the funds to make that happen. And I'm not even looking at the live chat. I'm not even interested in who's pissed off about whether I'm taking sides or not taking sides, because I'm just speaking from my heart. I'm not saying what I'm saying to keep anybody happy. I'm saying what I'm saying because I think the thoughts that I have to share on this is what I think reflects a healthy mindset to be able to continue protesting in a long-term sustainable way. You cannot just be immediately turning on and saying this person's a bad guy and that person's a bad guy. And if you don't believe me, then you're a bad guy. And like, I can't support that. I mean, I can't support that behavior. But I just have to say, like, nothing I'm saying here is meant to be any sort of a definitive statement on my feelings about any particular people. Now, let me tell you something. If I was Scotty and I was listening to this video right now, and I was so sure that Pinche Becky was just an absolute OSA spy, she was FBI, she was CIA, she was NSA, she was LAPD, she was OSA. And I was on here being like, hey, look, I like Pinche Becky as much as anyone else. And if I were Scotty and I held those beliefs very closely, and I'm not speaking for Scotty, I'm kind of just making a joke, a theoretical joke. I'd be like, oh no, we can't trust Aaron. We can't trust Aaron because he's compromised. They've tricked him. I understand that from a particular viewpoint, if someone is truly convinced of certain things, things are going to look drastically different from that point of view than from everyone else's point of view. And everything I'm saying right now comes from a perspective of not even having spent a lot of time trying to fully understand and talk to this person and talk to that person about what exactly went down and how and why and who's in the right. I have not made any attempt to figure out who's in the right. Guys, like we are a bunch of imperfect people engaging in a messy activity, fighting a horrible, destructive human trafficking cult with a loose, relatively unorganized group of people fighting fire with fire. I don't care to find out who's quote unquote right. But I can tell you that I just want to reiterate one more time. The idea of going, just unilaterally going, this person's a bad actor, and I've said it, so it's true. And anyone who doesn't agree with me is also a bad actor. And there's this grand conspiracy, and people are working against me, and no one can be trusted. I just go, stop. Like, or don't. Whatever, do whatever you want to do. But it's my hope that just because a person has said, I can't do this anymore, I'm not going to do this anymore, I fear for my safety, I can't do it. If that causes other people to step away, then I'm kind of repeating myself here. Then I just go, then were you really doing it for the right reasons? And by the way, I just want to make it clear. I support Pearl Snappy. I support Selfless Self. I support Aja. I support Scotty. I support Pinche Becky. I support Denver J. I support all these people. I don't turn on friends because other people have problems with the friends. I just don't. And I don't have the energy to be like, please tell me all the reasons why you think I should turn on one of my friends. I don't have the energy for that. And so if people feel that I'm not supporting them by continuing to support people they have a problem with, that's just an unfortunate situation, because that's never going to change. That's just never going to change. And again, this is not meant to call out Scott. This is actually meant to go on the record to be like, I like Scott. I support him in his efforts. I hope he will, figure out how to rejoin the efforts if he wants to. But you realize once you start burning bridges, now it becomes difficult. So maybe he doesn't want to rejoin. That's fine. Maybe the people who were working with him and helping him don't want him to rejoin. That's fine. I also feel not my business. I just want him to know that he is liked and he is supported and he is appreciated. And I don't want the people that he's targeted to feel like I'm not supporting them by saying that, because I feel the same way about the people who are on opposite sides of, I guess, the beefs, whatever the beefs are. And let's see. By the way, I do not have the lovely Barb starring comments for me right now, so there's literally nothing starred. I hope you guys don't mind. Let's see. There's just one thing. There's something wrong here with my chat. This chat looks different than it normally does. Marty Pace, welcome as a new channel member. Let's see. Was there anything else that I wanted to say? Not really, guys. I think that's it for now. As soon as I end this stream, please stay with me. As soon as I end the stream, it's going to redirect to the stream on Natalie's channel that I will be hosting. So please stick with me. And thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.